It would help if I actually have myself unmuted. Okay, so uh going back to what I said earlier, I'm live here on YouTube. Uh, what's going on? I didn't make the Friday night stream like I wanted to, so here we are on a Saturday night. I sent a couple links out to people if they want to jump in, and that's where we're gonna go from there. I want to see what the total tallies are with the election, and maybe you guys want to follow along with me on that because it's been a couple days later, so we should have everything should be reported, shouldn't it? No, everything's not reported apparently. So we know Trump won. And he even got the popular vote. That's ridiculous. Actually, Biden got the popular vote last time. That just tells you how unpopular a candidate, Kamala was. How far from Tulsa am I? I think the last number I looked, I'm 1,100.8 miles away from Tulsa. I'm not going to the Tulsa Arms Show this week. This time, I think I'm going to go. I'm kind of looking at maybe possibly going in April. A lot of people want me to go in April, and it just kind of depends on if I can, get enough funds together because I don't have a vehicle that can drive that far and back right now. So I'd have to take a plane, and then I'd have to have a place to stay for those days. So, trying to plan something like that in advance, you know. But I would like to go. A couple friends want to go in April, so that's what it's looking like for me if I go. I'll go in April if I can get everything together. It's just no right now. Right now, I'd have to do. I hate to say it like this, but I'd have to do fundraising like CloverTech does in order to go to events and whatnot. And he's better at marketing and whatnot than I am. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. I've done it before to try and get things, do things, but I don't like doing them. I really don't. I mean, if I had a working web store, that I didn't have to worry about things that people could just buy stuff from, it'd be great. But I don't. Why? Because it's a pain in the ass. I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do that kind of thing. You know, Ron, Ron, do you want to jump in here? Ron, I will send you a link. You can jump in and hang out with me if you want. We can talk about guns. The invitation is open, Ron, if you want to jump in. Because I love talking to you on the phone, man. I would love for you to jump in and hang out one of these days. I, BB Luminous, I hear what you're saying, man, but I don't like doing that. I don't like asking for money. People get, I don't. I really don't. But that's what I'm saying. Right now. I'm having to reassess how I'm doing GunTube right now because the funding for GunTube that I had has just gone. It's just gone away. So I'm working on that, and that's why the site's not working right now. Everything's fine. It's just I'm gonna have to redo how I do GunTube, and that's a whole nother bag of cats. So, I mean, yeah. You know what? I'll send this out here. Okay, guys, if you'd like to help me out and help the channel out, I've got a PayPal link if you want to do a one-time donation in the description of the live stream. I have a Patreon. You can if you want to make a donation via, I don't know, any other method, I'll send you my mailing address. I mean, I've got a PO box you could send it to. Uh, so just send it to. There's my PO box. So you can address it to Night Strike. You can address it to Mike. Doesn't matter. But that's my PO box. If you want to send me some. And yeah, I know that's telling me. But again, uh, yeah, actually, yes. Hold on, let's see. Uh, if if you check out nightstrike.com, I'm hosting my own link tree set up on my website. I also host it on 2A web hosting for people that need a link tree. But again, I've got all the donation links there. Like, say, if you wanted to Venmo me or Cash App, that's there too. I mean, any help would be appreciated. Though you're not required. You're not required. But if you ask me why I'm not at this event or this event, it's because I don't have the money to go to all these events, and I don't have a job that would allow me to go and visit half the country, you know, for 6 months out of the year. Yeah, yeah. No, I. Wow, you're running 64. Wow. I mean, for a high amount of RAM for a desktop, you know, that's that. You know, I would not have a high amount of RAM unless I had a server, and I had enough cores, the processor that could handle that amount of RAM. I mean, for your average desktop system, like, you know, 32 gigabytes is good enough for video games. I mean, you could go to 64, but at that time, but the higher amount of RAM you go up to, you eventually you eventually hit a limit. If your processor can't keep up with it, then you know it doesn't matter at that point. Having a lot of RAM is good, but again, yeah, YouTube has always been a resource hog. YouTube has always been a resource hog. Gunnins Barbecue say, "Skin the kitty, skin the kitty, skin the kitty, make it say meow." You know what? I'm going to say this to you right now, Buns and Barbecue. Meow's not the time. The time is not meow. So, let me go to Instagram. Let me do something real quick. Uh-huh. Do not even make the pizza joke. Let's see. Bro, I just had a comment deleted last talking about the Cash App creator. You know, I don't want to talk about Cash App. I mean, I know it's there, and I know people are are they have problems. Let's put it that way. But you know, I don't make money on YouTube anymore. I stopped putting ads on my YouTube stuff and on all of my stuff because it all went to not monetized or under review. So there's no money making it. You know, no. See, okay. Well, hold on, hold on. I have to do something real quick. Uh, I don't know why I get the trolls. Don't understand that one. I guess I guess because nobody else is doing anything, they might as well just bug me. I don't know. It's because I get trolls like this why I don't want to talk about shit like this. So here we go. All right. Joe, I'm sending you a link. You want to jump in for a minute? It's on Instagram. If you can't, that's cool. Don't worry about it. It's just, Anyways, actually, if you're having problems, Ghost Shadow, seeing an image on Windows and it's saying, "Hey, you don't have enough memory," there's a trick you can do. You can change the color format to where it sees it automatically, and you don't have that problem. You got enough memory. 80 terabytes is local storage. Is good. It's good. I need more of that. Right now, I'm only on like 30 terabytes of local storage. I need more. No. So, Ron, check your Instagram if you want to jump in, hang out. Shooting Gallery, you got a link on Instagram. Check it. You can hang out. I'm just sitting here and drinking some coffee and just hanging out. You're asking why I'm drinking coffee this late. It's like I might as well. Probably gonna be up until like 4 a.m. anyways. I don't get to sleep very much. But I just want to hang out, talk guns, talk freedom, like we used to. I don't know. I don't know if I want to link you. I don't know if you'll be able to yeah. Mm, let's see here. I forget your email actually. uh, it's guns. I think it's just guns and BBQ. All right. There, if you can see that one, you can jump in. Little humor there. So, yeah, no, I get that, Ghost Shadow. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes there's an issue where, you know, if you're using if you're like me and you're a holdout that uses photo viewer instead of you know, what Windows 10 has. Because you can still use photo viewer on Windows 10, even though they disabled it. You can re-enable it.
Yo, what's up?
There he is.
What's going on?
DJ's even here, but he's quiet.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Hey, you guys got the link. Great.
I was trying to figure out how to unmute my microphone.
You just got to click the button a few times.
Yeah, I got that taken care of.
Well, you know, I'm using this because it's free, you know.
I have only tried to use this once, and I just didn't really.
It takes a little learning curve. I'll give you that.
I'm more of a.
Yeah, I know. You like to use the easy stuff that everybody else, the mindless zombies, use. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a mindless zombie. I would more call myself a creature of habit. That would be more.
I mean, I would call you what I call the Amish.
That's a very accurate description of me, to be quite honest.
And you know what I would call you? Technology challenged.
Oh, 100%. That's why Rogue Banshee's my tech support on anything Apple product.
Yes, because he hates Apple.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was on my show, my gun broker browsing stream today, and I called him yesterday. I was just like, "Hey, man, just so you know, this is not a call about Apple tech support. I actually have this new show I'm trying out. You know, if you want to come on." And he called me back and then made fun of my voicemail, and then was like, "Yeah, no, I can come on, no problem, dude."
Yeah, no. The problem is when me and Jason get on stream, we just you know, take the scissors and run with it, you know?
Oh yeah.
You know, because I've known Jason for years. I know Jason when he started. You know, so it's just like,
yeah, me and him. I think me and him started like right around the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, but what is new with you?
Well, you know, I didn't get a chance to do the Friday night strike last night because I was busy dealing with family. But I had time this evening, so I just figured I'd just turn on the stream and whatnot.
All right.
Just, you know, you chill, talk about guns or what's going on.
I was gonna say you're drinking coffee at 8:30 at night. That's a bold move.
I'm an Italian. I'm drinking cappuccino at 8:30 at night.
Yeah, you see, my heritage, I would usually be just completely gone at this point.
Because you know I've got an Italian last name.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I got a very Polish last name, but you know, my people we like to drink whiskey, and
honestly, your last name's rather tame.
It is. It is. You know, what you see is what you get.
Yeah. So, you know, you've been back for a little while. How was running away from the hurricane?
It was good. I got to see my family, and I really enjoyed seeing my family. Then I visited Cape Gunworks, my old stomping grounds, and had a very warm, welcoming home there. So that was good seeing all those guys. And
did you tell them you were running away from the hurricane?
Yes, they all called me non-Floridian. But then I got back, and then I was like, okay, I got back. I'm good. I'm ready to go home. And luckily, there was power came back on, internet came back on. I was more upset that I paid $145 for parking at
Walter's
the
shop
airport.
was still there.
Barely. Yeah, they had a flood. He had a flood, so we've been dealing with that since the hurricane. So we got back. We're getting back to business now, though. Building 50 cals and getting stocks ready and all that good stuff. I was actually assembling MP5K stocks.
I've been buying VZ61 barrels from him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I've been doing it because he doesn't have it on Safety Harbor Firearms website. He has it on STEM Parts instead.
Man, it's still on support. It's still support. We've been doing PPS 43 barrels right now to get on the website.
Because I'm in the beta for the super safe VZ61.
Is what is that again?
That's basically they've remixed the Czar VZ61 receiver, where you could 3D print it and you can use an AR-15 trigger group.
Oh yeah, okay,
so,
okay.
So I'm using a metal, a Tim Hoffman super safety metal version in that, and now it's a real boy.
Oh, nice.
Because the super safety is a binary trigger.
Yeah, I can't have a binary trigger in the state of Florida.
Well,
but also I'm not. It's like I've used. You see, I go back and forth with binary triggers because like they are fun depending on like a VZ61. Like that would be a fun binary trigger because it's 32 ACP. Like that would be awesome.
It is 32 ACP isn't really imposing. It's not like 9mm. Like I'd rather have like an MP5. I'll be honest, but I really don't want to sink the like $900 just for the cheapest version. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, an MP5 that would be like an ideal. I've tried them with. I don't like. I actually do not care for them on the Scorpion Evo. I don't care for them on the AR-15 or even the 1022. I've never had a 1022 one that works right. I've installed them many times by the book. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. Maybe I'm just kind of jaded because I've shot a lot of actual full autos, and it's like, I don't shame people that have them.
But listen, I have bump stocks. Okay, don't ask me how I have bump stocks. I will just say I 3D printed all of my bump stocks.
I mean, well, after Cargill, I mean, you're good to go. But also at the same time, I'm not an ATF agent, so you do what you want, man.
Yeah, and I know those aren't level 4 plates, so you're good.
Yeah, you can say that. That is all you saying that. But I actually had a very fun interaction today at my gun club. I was getting like 5 videos worth of shooting footage done, and it was really good. I shot pretty good. It wasn't like horrendous, and a couple guys were like practicing getting all their optics and stuff ready for the tactical games. They came over and they were like, "Hey, do you run a YouTube channel?" I was like, "Yes, I do." And they're like, "Oh, I saw the camera. I figured, what are you working?" They're like, "Oh, what are you working on? What do you go by?" And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm Joe, shooting gallery on YouTube. Appreciate it. Check me out." And I'm telling them like what I'm working on.
I mean, I was, I know a lot of Reddit has a lot of lefties on there, but there's also a bunch of conservatives too, and I tend to stick on the conservative side of the Reddit channels.
Yeah.
But I was posting in one of the Reddit gun channels on something somebody said, and like they started a post, and we started talking about it, and he's like, "Night Strike," and I go, "Yeah, that's me. What's up?" And he goes, "You're the Night Strike from Never Enough Ammo's channel." Like, yeah, me and Matt are like brothers, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I remember you on Matt's channel all the time. And I go, thanks.
Yeah. It was he. I don't think he like knew who I was, but like he was like interested in what I was doing, and I was telling him like, "Oh, I'm working on this Anderson stuff," and then I proceeded to have an old guy with like a Beretta 84 sweep me, and
Never
that was
Enough
not-
Ammo is another one of the big channels, and it's like I've known him forever, back from the back during the old gun channels days with gun websites.
Yeah, I think I maybe talked to him once on like an old Clover Tech chat. Maybe I don't think I've
And
never spoken to him.
and I know Clover Tack and Ghost very well. Yes.
Yes, I know him too.
Yeah.
The good old days.
The good old boys. Yeah, by the way, Jason was one of those good old boys too.
Yeah, that's how me and Jason actually met.
Yeah.
But
so,
it was a good time. But yeah,
DJ was there a little bit, I believe.
I was aware a little bit.
Gun channels?
No, man. Like any kind of tail end, I didn't get to catch, really. I mean, I've heard the tales, coming within, I don't know, months maybe of when things kind of simmered down there. But no, I can't claim that. I wish I could, man.
I thought I saw you there. Maybe it was another DJ. Who knows? So.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good time. It was a good time back in the day. But yeah, I'm happy I got to shoot I got most of the footage done for my front line today. I love that gun. Like,
I got the super safety dialed in on the VC61 the other day, and I had full auto 32 ACP. Well, not full auto. It was still, I'm still pulling the trigger each and every time, but it was binary. It was binary in a submachine gun platform pistol. So yeah. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean that's all that matters. Did you end up ever getting your FNFAL figured out?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say you had like an FN receiver that Mark Novak was working on?
Oh no, I've got my. You see my FAL already. I have my FAL back.
I thought you just had another one that you had him built. You were having him work on.
He's gonna help me with the G3 because
that's what it was.
I'm going to destroy the receiver on the current G3 I have. Take the barrel out of that because that's a surplus barrel, and put it in a PTR receiver I've got.
Oh wow!
Because I went out and I found a PTR receiver, and well, let's just put it this way: I'd rather put all surplus G3 parts in a PTR build than leave it in a crappy aluminum receiver where it's held in by 2 steel pins and JB weld. I know I know they used epoxy. But it's probably JB weld.
Well, that struck him funny.
Oh man, and I've seen some shit, man.
Let me give the full translation for everybody that don't know about this current G3 that I got. Okay, I paid like $400 for it because they are cheap and they're not built well, and you really shouldn't shoot them. It's a Federal Arms FA91. What they tried to do is they tried to make a receiver out of cast aluminum. Okay, not a bad idea, granted, but they didn't put in any steel supports for like the barrel or the trunnion area and the cocking tube. They just epoxied the cocking tube in place. And how they set the trunnion in place is they epoxied and put a steel pin on and shoved the steel pin through the left and the right side of the trunnion to hold it into the receiver with epoxy. So when you shoot it often and you get the receiver warm, it gets all movie. And when I say movie, I mean it moves in the receiver.
Yeah, that's not good.
So that's how the Federal Arms FA91 rifles work. Some of them had proper G3 receivers. Most of them didn't.
I mean,
you know the rifle I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the rifle. I mean, an aluminum receiver G3. That is it's a good idea if you can execute it right. But when everything's moving around, worse than an AK is like shifts and stuff. Especially in a 308. I get what you're saying. Like, I would rather you rip out all the parts and just get a different receiver.
all the parts in that rifle were worth buying that rifle and just stripping it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Makes sense.
Because I don't know if you know this, but do you know how much a semi-auto trigger group or an HK91 or a semi-auto G3 costs these days?
Pretty expensive.
If you go to like HK parts, you can't find one under $289.
I was gonna say I was gonna guess around like 250.
I've seen though, and you know, and the really dialed in ones that HK parts sells, they're like $300.
Yeah. Sounds...
So that rifle I bought was it. You know, if I can get the trunnion out, then I can get the barrel pin out of the trunnion, and then I could just go and just push the barrel out because I've got a replacement trunnion for it, and just push the barrel into a new trunnion, and then just weld the trunnion and the new cocking tube I got onto the receiver. Then I'm done.
So stop talking about it and start turning some wrenches, man. When are you going to get this project moving?
I don't have a $900 TIG welder right now.
All right.
Yeah.
That's simple. That's shut me down just like that, man. I got it.
Yeah. But hey, you asked, and you know that's.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that's a project I couldn't even think about doing.
Yeah.
You know, most of the parts of that. I mean, I've had to have people over the shoulder for me to like figure out anything about an AR-15. That's just not been my gig. But you know, we're talking the G3, and you and I know like the set me. I have one of the Century set me's, and yeah, like working on that, the little bit that I have been able to do makes me just like kind of wonder why I was cool with a fluted barrel, because I'd rather be out from underneath it at this point. Any reloading chances are gone, kind of deal. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I still love the platform because without the SETME, without the G3, you would not have gotten the MP5.
No, not at all.
So,
man, I'm not even trying to be all that kind of fancy or genuine about it. It was a slap for me, man. It was a slap, and it was an entry-level basic price, you know, kind of thing when Century was first dragging them in. But yeah, I mean, it's like me trying to pretend like it's an HK, and not really. And anybody who knows anything knows that they're not. Sort of thing. Okay, well, I hear what you're saying, and I know if you're going to go with the Spanish L series, I got it. But I was just like kind of tossing out there. No. Okay.
The SETME C or the C308, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Yeah.
It is designed by the guys that made the G3, because when they were working for SETME, they were told they could go back to Germany and they wouldn't get hung at Nuremberg. So that's when those German engineers decided to go back to West Germany at that time, because there was an East or West at that point. And they went back, and guess what company they got hired by?
Ah, I didn't know any of that. Right on.
They got hired by HK.
Yeah. And
then, you know, Germany was like, you know, we want to build an in-house rifle. And, you know, FN's like, well, no, if you're going to use the FAL, you're going to make it. We're going to make it. We're not going to let you make it because, you know, F you ruined our country.
Right.
Yeah, because that's right after World War II.
No, I follow, man. It's like the politics. The politics of more than almost a century ago. It's kind of funny to think about.
And that's why there weren't many G1 rifles, which was the German designation for the FAL. And so they tried a G2, and that didn't work so well. So they went with the G3, and you know, HK made the G3 for them in house, you know, in West Germany. But those engineers that made the SETME were working for HK when HK made the G3, because they licensed the designs from the SETME people in Spain so they could rework them with better German engineering at that point and make it a better rifle, and that's how you got the G3.
I've been hearing like for the last 2 months about somebody tossing out word salad all the time. Man, when you get that far into numbers and years and whatever else, you've just completely lost me. And I've actually got to break in here and say I've got to go lose myself in a couple of minutes to go backstage and help out with Brooke Cheney's program tonight. It's going to be like, I don't know, top of the hour. So I'm going to, with your kind permission, drop the link to that channel. If you're not subscribed, sub it up and swing by later if you got a chance. that's what I got, man. So I'm going to bounce out. Thanks for having me over, man.
All right, later.
No problem. Later, man.
See ya.
So I didn't want to. I did a whole video on the set me in the G3. So if anybody wants to go and hear about the history, I went through the entire history. So that's on my Night Strike channel. So check that out. But yeah, I like that. I like the PAL. I mean, I have a Polytech M14.
Yeah, the Chinese M14.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's more of an M14 than the M1A is.
It is. It is. I'm looking at Sarco right now. They got a nylon 66 for $550. I don't know. I think that's like a cheaper end price of a nylon 66.
Yeah, but you also have to realize that's for what, a 22?
Yeah, dude. Nylon 66s are like,
I know they're sought after, but I mean, it's a glorified 22.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. This is cool as hell. I love nylon 66s. I get like really like geeked out over like old 22s.
I like the weird shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So at one point I went to a gun show and I saw a Dardic for sale. And I'm like, if I had the $1,100 that dude wanted for that Dardic pistol, I would have gotten it. Just straight away gotten it.
If I had the money, I would have put in on a bid on Gunbroker last night for a Hungarian PSL for $1,000. I was like, that's the cheapest I've ever seen a PSL.
Yeah.
And I would have if I had the money. I've wanted a PSL since I got into guns. And
you know what you could do because you have Walter.
Yeah, I know. I could buy a parts kit and
you can buy a parts kit, and they sell receivers. You can buy the receiver for like $100, $200 and have Walter help you put it together. And more often than not, since you work for him, if you ask him if he'd help you build one, he would probably say yes.
Oh yeah, I know he would.
Yeah,
I damn near almost bought a parts kit for a PPS 43, and the only thing that's stopping me is I don't want to have to figure out how to convert it to semi-auto. I really don't. Like I could buy the receiver sections. I know he'd help me weld it. I could probably put a PPS 43 together very easily. They're not that complex. I could buy
easiest. I'm going to tell you right now, the easiest way to probably do that would be to use like an AR-15 fire control group.
Yeah, probably, or I'd want to do a VZ61 because I can buy a receiver.
Dude, I bought my parts kit, VZ61 parts kits. I've been paying like $150 for the parts kits.
Yeah, and he sells the barrels too. So
I've been paying $150 for the parts kit, and then I've been getting the barrels off of Walter for like dirt cheap, like at least $30 or $40 cheaper than everybody else in the game.
Well, I'm trying to talk him into doing a video because he has SOT superpowers, and I want to do a video with him on the SHTF 50 that we make. But it's a specific type, and I don't know. Like he said he's down. It's just he's like, how are we gonna do it so it takes off? Like I wanna, because he makes those 12. He makes very.
I know. And if I had the money to drop on one of those uppers right now, I would. But right now, it's just
I hear you, dude. I work there, and you don't think I want to put it on their way?
People want me to go to Wanamaker in April, and I don't even know where the hell I'm going to find the money to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I made a decision this week. I'm doing no trade shows for the next year. I'm not doing shop, and I'm not doing any more events. I'm not going to do the gathering, gold.
You'll be missed.
I know, but I'm gonna challenge myself to see if I can grow without doing trade shows or gun events. I mean, unless someone wants to pay me exuberant amount of money to go, And I hate to be that guy, but at the same time, travel is expensive. But I'd like to do one of those guns, but I don't feel like dealing with the. I mean, I also could talk to my buddy Babyface P at Chrome Bandium Arms and be like, figure this out. I don't care how long it takes.
He did my set me.
He did.
Yeah, he did my set me. I had him help me with the set me because Mark was too busy at the time. So
yeah,
I needed to get that product done.
Yeah,
I got it running now. I had to replace the bolt. The bolt carrier I had was a dud, so I had to go and just buy a semi-auto bolt from Apex, and that's fixed all my problems.
Yeah, Babyface is really good
except for I had to file down the magazine well a little bit because the magazines wouldn't go fit high enough up into the mag well.
Yeah, that's not that bad. So not bad at all. Yeah, then
I was trying to use G3 and Semi mags, and they just both of them wouldn't fit because what would happen is it would try and strip the round out of the magazine, but instead the bolt would just go straight over the round.
Oh, okay.
And I found out that was because it's not the magazine wasn't sitting high enough in, but on both the Setme and the G3 mags, you know how they've got stoppers on both sides, to stop as soon as it hits the magazine well. The only fix is to basically just go and grind down the bottom of the magazine well so they'll fit higher up into place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that works.
Gunsmithing 101, right?
Yeah, just start filing and grinding until shit fixes. It's still.
If it doesn't fix itself, I'll send it back to Babyface P and say running.
Just when in doubt, Dremel it out. Don't give. That's clearly a joke.
No.
Sometimes it does work. It does. Sometimes
you joke, but I asked Mark on how to get this one flash hider off at one point because I could not find the pin for it, and they really did a good job at hiding this pin because they did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because you know how you're either from like the side of the barrel or from like the underneath of the barrel, you're supposed to do a small indentation into the barrel through with like a drill.
Yep.
And go in through the side so you're not actually chancing any holes getting poked in the side. No, what these idiots at Federal Arms did to that damn barrel, they drilled into the side, just straight in, and put the pin in through that way.
I mean, hey, at least you're not
like on both sides to hold it in place.
At least you're not like me and be the guy that when I first learned how to start drilling and tapping muzzle brakes, you don't drill through a $4,000 rifle barrel.
How they did this? It was disgusting.
Did I tell you that story? First time I ever started doing pin and welding jobs, gunsmithing, I drilled through a barrel on a Scar 20. Just drilled right. I didn't get my depth right, and
that must have cost you.
No, actually, it did. It didn't get into the lanes and grooves. It just kind of went through the meat. And what I did was I filed it down enough to where the pin was there. That mofo ain't never getting his muzzle brake off, but yeah, I was lucky enough. I got a bore scope in there, and it didn't hit the lanes or grooves, so I was happy. But
I'm trying to get a picture so I can show you what I'm talking about because you got to see this. This is ridiculous. I would not have done it this way. It's that bad. Let's see.
That's what I do miss about gunsmithing is just like seeing what people do that they're like, oh, this is how I was told to do it. And you have to like explain to them politely that's not the right way to do it. And
yeah, it's not how to do it.
It like that challenge. I like it's a challenge to like fix something. And that's what
people are challenged.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yes.
No, it's just yes, period.
Yeah, they are.
Right. And we're going to do presentation mode real quick, and I want to show you this. This is ridiculously stupid. Okay. On both sides of the barrel. You see that hole right there? It's not supposed to go in like that.
What the? God damn. That's atrocious. I'm sorry. I would
It was on that side, and then on the opposite side of the barrel.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, you don't need.
You
to
don't do it like that.
No, that guy, whoever did that, is.
That's Federal Arms.
Bless their hearts.
There's a reason they went bankrupt. I'm telling you.
Yeah, bless their hearts.
But either way, even though I kind of messed up with this barrel, I kind of cut a little deeper into it. But if I couldn't find the pin, and you know what, Mark, I talked to Mark on the phone, and Mark said, if you can't find the pin, then just take the Dremel out and Dremel it. Just don't go. He said, don't go too deep and go perpendicular to the barrel, but you're gonna have to cut into it if you can't find the pin, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And while yes, I did kind of nick a couple of the threads, but he said as long as you can still get a flash hider on and off of that barrel, it doesn't matter if you nick the threads because there is such a thing as intermittent threads.
That, and you can also just take a tap and die and just clean up the threads too.
So that's what I did to that barrel. So now I can reuse that barrel as long as he helps me destroy the receiver, because I'm not going to keep that receiver. I thought about getting a new barrel and just redoing the entire G3. But the more I think about it, I don't want to get rid of this rifle and then have it go and hurt someone and then have it coming back at me,
Yeah, you don't need those lawyers.
Coop, you got a link if you want to jump in.
Oh, Coop, what's up, dude?
He's out there on the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I literally just looked at the YouTube chat and saw that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. I think the next I'm still doing my 1911 build. That's the one build that I'm like taking my time on, and once I crush the plunger tube, I just need to get the new plunger tube and restake it. But the AR-15 pistol, big bore pistol build that we got going on with the Anderson Manufacturing is in full force. That's getting sent out this week to get some finishing touches on it that I can't do myself.
Yeah,
and,
I was thinking about doing getting the upper for it and doing a 50 Beowulf AR-15 build.
Nice. I'm actually sending you a picture of what my build looks like. You cannot share this publicly because.
Okay. Because you don't want to get in trouble with you. You don't want the guys to see it. I get it.
Well, no, it's that too, but also it's just.
It's fine. It's fine. I won't share it.
I trust you.
I will tell everybody what it looks like, though.
Don't tell anybody. You can't.
I'm kidding. It's like it looks like an AR-15. Oh my!
Oh, it is an AR-15. It definitely is an AR-15.
I'm teasing you. Don't worry about it.
I know. So I just texted it to you. But dude, this thing is mean. It is just so obnoxious. Once I start fully shooting it at my range, everybody is going to hate me.
You see, he's got that new muzzle device. There is such a thing as a silencer and a suppressor. Yeah, he got the opposite of that. He got that what is it? The sledgehammer loudener to make the shots louder.
Yeah, this is a effing tank break right here, and I love the fact that I was able to get a rail that goes almost all the way up to the muzzle brake too. So, and yeah, this thing is mean. Absolutely.
All right, let me see this monstrosity. All right. Which brace is that?
That is, let's just say I created.
Oh, that's a custom then.
No, that's a Gearhead Works.
Okay, all right.
But it's on a something that somebody all know produces. And I got a screaming deal on it. I didn't get it for free, but I got a screaming deal for it.
Well, I'm glad you chose our favorite optic company.
Oh, 100%. I will always.
And for those of you that don't know, our favorite optic company is Gideon Optics. Go check them out.
I can say that because I know a lot of the guys are using Gideon Optics on their builds.
I once this gets back from paint or Cerakote, it is
it's probably going to be in running to win. It's going to be.
Watch. Rich will enter his Safety Harbor Firearms 50 BMG rifle.
Nope, we already discussed. Can't do it. All right, we already went through that. I had strict rules that you had to build it yourself.
Yeah, well, Rich can't do that. He has to have somebody do it for him.
Let's just say Rich is getting it figured out. I talked to Rich today, and he's like, I got pretty much everything. I'm waiting on one part. Then it's getting
but do we
here.
really? He's crashed how many? He's crashed into how many houses and how many cars? Do we really want him crashing his own garage?
I've been to France. Okay,
I've seen that garage on camera.
Yeah, he's not crashing anything in there. That's all I'm saying. And I believe in Rich's abilities, and Rich is going to kill it. And
all right.
I know what he's making, or at least I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I know the caliber at least. And I'm excited to see what he does. And the only one I don't know is have an idea, or at least the caliber of what they're doing, is Dark. All I know is that he is something huge because I know the size of his gas block. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. I just don't have the money to build every gun under the sun whenever you guys decide you want to do a build off. I can't. I just don't have the liquidity to be able to do that all the time.
Same with me. Well, that's the thing. This is the first time since because I actually bought my lower receiver. I didn't get. We were fortunate enough to have great companies not sponsor us, but like help out with our builds. And but I've invested some good. I've invested some money into this build where it, and again, it's working with companies that support my channel
and funny you mentioned the receivers. Is I've been talking to Tim, and I'm looking at possibly building a couple AR-10s and AR-15 receivers in ASA 3D printed ASA filament instead of using, because I want something that can handle the weather and can handle, the wetness.
I printed a low point because I have a 380 parts kit.
Mm-hmm.
And for a high point pistol, I got it pretty much figured out. I actually got a chance to meet Control Pew at IV88, who originally made it. And I told him, well, this is what I got, but I don't know. I feel like it's like missing holes. He's like, no, you don't need half the parts you need on there. He's like, just don't drop it. It's not drop safe. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm trying to
you're like, oh, wow. I hadn't figured it was a P320.
I'm not going to. It's more of just a goof. I just want to see if I can do it because I did it in PLA Plus. So,
the VZ61 receivers I did, they're in PLA Plus.
Yeah, everyone tells me I'm good with PLA Plus, especially with it being 380. So I got to get on that. I'm trying not to get too tricked out on gun builds because right now I have 3 AR receivers in my safe that have no uppers, and I have the 1911, and I'm probably going to pick up at least another lower receiver because I have a 30 cal suppressor waiting for me to do paperwork on, and I want to build a 300 blackout.
There. For those that don't know, VZ61s.
Nice.
See, I had both of them in black, and I decided, you know what? I don't want one in black. So I made one in OD green.
I like it.
By the way, I have already printed one in Stormtrooper white. I'm in the process of printing one in flat dark earth.
Nice.
So I decided I wanted the gun guy rainbow.
I just
black, FDE, OD green, and Stormtrooper white.
I have upgraded everything I need to on my Ender 3 that I bought from Rich when I moved down here, and I printed some cool stuff off of it. I put like the PEI build plate, which I love. And
yeah, no,
it's still now that it's all tricked out. Now I got all the stuff I need for it. I haven't even turned it on in weeks. So I printed some cool stuff off of it, just like and non-gun stuff. It's just
speaking of Tim, he just posted a video shooting the baby orca.
I'm interested in the Orca, but
It's just an AR-15. That's all it is.
I know it's just the way he does it. It's I like I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I've never shot it, but I like how he kind of like how he designed it.
And one of those VZ61s, I fucked up and drilled the barrel pinhole out bigger than it was supposed to be. So I had to go and find a pin, like a metal dowel pin, that the steel metal dowel pin that I could put in there as a replacement, and then I kind of had a hammer on both sides of that pin to keep it in place so it mushroomed out to keep the barrel in place.
I mean, that's what McMaster car is for, and they have the fastest shipping ever.
Yeah. Well, I just got a generic one I could find, just like at Ace Hardware.
That ain't bad. That's why I love Ace Hardware. I love Ace Hardware because they when you need something, they have it, and they're always at like the most convenient places too. Like I got an Ace Hardware like 2 streets over from me.
And and as my friend Mark says, if you lose a pin or you need a bigger pin, you could always sacrifice one of your high-speed drill bits to the roll pin gods.
I've done that. Nope.
And Mark has literally taken out like an old rusted one, gone over it and gotten all the rust off of it, and then cut it off and put it into one of my guns and said, "There you go. Now it's fixed." They go, "Is that gonna be all right?" He's like, "It's already rusted. I'm just gonna throw it away." Because he keeps a whole bunch of them that he's not going to use ever again, just as roll pins. Because some of the drill bits he get are higher quality steel than what he could buy.
Yeah, I wish I could get him on a podcast. I would love that, but I know he doesn't do shows that much. So
no, he doesn't have a lot of time.
He's busy.
He's busy as hell fixing people's guns.
That, and he's got what, like 2 grandkids?
Yeah, he's got a couple grandkids. Yeah,
yeah, and I know he's very involved in their lives. So I think last time I talked to him, he was telling me, he was like, "Well, cancer almost got me, but I told the doctor, listen, I got a grandson on the way, and there's nothing's taking me out on this. I'm not missing this."
No. It's like, so.
Good. Well, good for him. I didn't get to see him at range day this year, so hopefully I get to see him. And I'll cross paths with him again.
I mean, you'll probably see him at Iraq Veteran if you go again.
Yeah, if I go, I don't know. I might. I might take this year off. I don't know. It might be like the week, like 2 weeks. I'll fill the waiver out. Anyway.
It all depends on if Walter says you're going or not.
No, it's not that. I think. It all depends on if I'll fill my information out that I need to do, whatever. But it all depends if like the month before it's like, oh, hey, we got this. We're all at this Airbnb. Oh, this person's going. This person's going. Oh, no hurricane this year. Awesome. Oh, this. And it just like, I'm just going to make an executive decision. Be like, fine, I'll go. All right.
Yeah, that's the only thing about living down here in the South you have to deal with is hurricanes are it's the downside. Like you get hurricanes more often down here than you do up north.
Yeah, we just up north we get snow. My mother keeps asking me like, "Okay, so are you coming up for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but how's it like? Can you like figure out if it's gonna snow? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm all set with that."
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Kentucky. I know what snow is.
And then she goes with her Irish Catholic speaking, saying, "You're getting your ass up here," and I'm like, "Yes, mom. Yes, mom." There's only 3 people in the world I'm afraid of, and she's one of them because I want to kick my ass.
No. See, you're not really in trouble unless your mother says your name,
my full government name, yeah,
with your middle name in there.
Oh,
that's when you know you're in trouble.
Oh, dude, and I'm telling you right now, when growing up,
yeah, that's how I knew I was in trouble. When my mom,
if I heard that,
the full government name,
I was up Shit's Creek.
You would fucked up.
Oh yeah, and If I got my mom that mad to that point, oh, my car keys were taken away. I
Believe.
wasn't leaving the house for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Oh man, it was not good. And I mean,
See ya, Gabriel.
I probably deserved it later, brother. I probably deserved it, to be quite honest, because I was a little bit of a punk. But
Yeah, I bet you were.
it's not.
So was I. So was I. When
I didn't do
younger.
anything malicious. I didn't care. I kind of had a mouth on me, and well, no, I've chilled out a lot. Like no, seriously, because the person you see on camera or like see it shows it is not the. I was a young kid. I was angry. I thought I was taking on the world, and I didn't want to hear it. And then I moved in with my dad, and that kind of stopped almost immediately, and he shot that down real quick. So I became a man, and I learned I learned real quick how life is, and I think I needed that growing up. But yeah, no, I was an angry kid, and just the stuff I would get caught lying. I didn't want to do my homework. I hated school, so I just didn't care.
Yeah,
and my mom would find out. She'd get my report card. It's like,
this sounds familiar. Are you sure you have been reading my autobiography?
Oh yeah. She's like, how do you have a D in art? And I'm like, oh. And she's like, it says you don't do homework. How do you not do homework in art? And I'm like, I don't know. Nothing speaks to me. I don't know. And I'd say I'm smart.
You got a D? You got a D? I got an F.
I was on I had an IEP in high school, so I got out of a lot of stuff because I had a learning disability, but also I just didn't care. But
mine was just not caring, and
I didn't
getting
care.
in trouble.
You know what it is too? I learned, and this goes out to, this is more of a philosophical discussion here. I didn't care. No, seriously,
because if a tree falls in the forest, it does make a fucking sound, and it does have a color. I can promise you that.
I agree with you on that exact point. But philosophical wasn't probably a good term. I didn't care about high school. I didn't care what I was learning because it didn't interest me. Yeah. And that's why my grades sucked. I couldn't wait to I barely graduated because I was done. I didn't want to be there. I'd rather go to work and make money. I went to college. I learned a trade that I love and a subject matter that I cared about, and I graduated with a 3.9 GPA in college with an associate's degree. So,
I mean,
I
dropped out of college and got IT certifications instead, and I still have them. It's just I want to get out of the IT field now. I loved it for many years, and then the stupid people came.
You know what? I hear that a lot with people that work in IT.
And then the stupid people came, and I get really dumb phone calls.
Oh, like me when I call Jason saying, "Hey, how do I re-upload Final Cut Pro on my Mac?" And he's like, "Dude, you haven't updated your MacBook in like a year. You're on like iOS whatever, and it's like iOS 4 generations after that. What is the matter with you? Like, no wonder you can't re-download it, you dummy."
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, and that's why he gives me so much crap whenever I call him, because he knows I don't know how to work my MacBook. And maybe I should have applied myself in high school where I wouldn't have to call my friends to tell me how to turn my computer on.
Normally, this is the joke me and Jason were talking about the other day on his show. It's like, normally turning it off and back on again usually fixes it.
Yeah, I know that much, but whatever.
But yeah, I want to get out of the IT business because as much as I like doing computers and whatnot and building computers, I love building computers. I love building servers. Okay, I hate having to troubleshoot them, and I hate having to troubleshoot with the customer. And it's not that I hate talking to people; it's just if they had done it right the first time, I wouldn't have to spend 15 minutes explaining how they screwed it up. And then spend another 15 minutes fixing it.
I completely agree. 100% agree.
That's why I went to Penn Foster and got my gunsmithing certification.
Good for you, man.
I've had it for years. I just
Oh.
haven't. I just haven't used it.
I get it. I mean,
I've only worked on my own shit because I do screw ups. So
yeah, I get that. But hey, man, listen, I'm gonna roll. I appreciate you having me on. I'm gonna
Yep.
try and get.
Thanks for hanging out.
No problem, brother. Hey, I'll be in touch, my man. Thank you again.
Yep. Let me know if you need anything.
No problem, buddy. Thank you.
So yeah, it's not Friday night. It's Saturday night. So it's the Saturday night strike because I forgot I had to do a show the other day and I was dealing with family. First world problems. I was dealing with family. I didn't do it. So this is hilarious from someone formerly in IT applications. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yes, you know. But you understand what I'm talking about too. You do. So I've tried. I've submitted my application. I've submitted, a copy of my certifications. I guess I'm too qualified for them. I guess they want people that don't have any certifications but have, manufacturing experience, I guess. So kind of sucks there. I don't anyways. So we've got 11 people out there on the YouTube side. We got one person out on the Rumble side. So we've gone over an hour and, just shooting the breeze. So with that, I think I'm going to call it tonight. I will see you guys again this next week, either on other people's shows or on me doing something of my own. Scott, that's different because of what you do. And I'm not going to out you and I'm not going to tell people what you do. You can do that yourself. But there's a reason why they do that. And on that note, shall not be infringed. And how do I turn this damn thing off?